Hello, welcome or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz. I'll be guiding you on this journey today. And I've gone back to making like little intro videos to put at the beginning of each reading. So that's what this is. And I'm stalling because I can't remember what I was actually going to say in this intro. Memory. Anyway, okay, here we go. It's all coming back to me now. Couple things. I'm going to stick to just doing human design profile readings for the time being. I also am going to start doing readings by type as well. So, there'll be a reading for manifestors, there'll be a reading for projectors, there'll be a reading for generators and manifesting generators. I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep those in one reading for now anyway, until I feel differently about it. And then reflectors as well. So I'm going to add those readings in, but I just, a little birdie told me to stick with those. And I think, honestly, in great part because those are the readings that I actually get like a response on, and there's more engagement in those readings that I put out. And that's what I want, and being a manifesting generator myself, right? It's responding. So, instead of doing the zodiac signs and the human design profile readings, at least for the next little while, I don't know how long that'll last until a birdie tells me to do differently. And obviously that birdie is like my intuition or like my own like personal guidance, right? But that's what I'm going to do for the time being. And I think like part of why I haven't necessarily done that sooner is because I really haven't been engaging with or like super I don't know, whatever the fucking word is. Like, how annoying is that? To not be able to find the right word. I just haven't been as in the realm of human design as I have been with astrology. Like I've been spending a lot of focus on just understanding astrology, and especially like my own astrology. And so I just really haven't been engaging with a lot of human design content. Like I really haven't been keeping on top of it. So as a 5/1, I think I just feel a bit insecure about making that the prominent thing. And I honestly, I can't even say that's going to change. Like I'm not saying that like I'm going to start diving heavily back into human design just yet. I know the basics. I know all of the shit that like I did learn before. But yeah, that is the truth. That is the truth that I haven't been as on top of that as I have been on top of astrology. I mean, obviously, astrology is also included in like human design, but anyway, that would be getting into a bit of like semantics. So, from here on, for however long, I'm just going to stick to doing human design profile readings. The 333 readings are still available. Those are the only that's the only offering that I have right now. Like, I'm not doing longer form, or I'm not doing one-on-one, like, personal readings for the time being. I had a couple people email me about a personal reading, like a longer form personal reading, and I just don't feel called, or it just doesn't feel good for me to put energy into those for right now. For whatever reason, I mean, I do feel like I'm in this, like, transitionary phase, and I'm like literally in the middle of it, like that liminal space, and I just kind of feel like I need to kind of keep my energy, like, focused on whatever is going to unfold, like, with that. And for whatever reason, it just doesn't feel good to offer, like I said, like, anything basically beyond, like, those 333 readings. So, which is also, like, kind of scary, right? Like, because I'm like, ugh. I could use the money right now. I could use, really, ultimately, I could use the money right now. Like, that is the truth of it. I could use the money, but that is the only thing, like, and that's not, like, a very good, that's not a motivator that, like, feels good, for me right now. So the capacity that I do have is, again, the 333 readings. The basics of that is that it's $3.33. You would Venmo me $3.33 and include your email address, and I will pull 2 cards for you. The first card would be the door, or, that's basically the obstacle or the opportunity, or the thing that you are standing in front of, or the thing that you are coming up to in your life. And then the key would be the guidance or the advice, or how to work through that obstacle, or, rite of passage, or, whatever. And the readings that I have done on those so far, and thank you to those who have requested that offering, they have been so amazing and so cool. But it is a written reading, so you'll get a PDF with a picture of the tarot card. The interpretation that I have for it, and then any, overall, like, thoughts or things that I kind of picked up on in those cards too. So again, like I said, the ones that I have done have been so amazing and so cool, just the way that things have unfolded. And, the people who have gotten those readings, there's been great feedback from those readings as well. So thank you also for that. And I'll put, of course, an explanation of that in the description. Yeah, really quick then, because this is long as hell all of a sudden. Let me just introduce the decks that we're going to be using. The tarot deck is the Wandering Moon Tarot, and I was going to say the affirmation deck, which I guess that it is, but the Oracle deck that we're going to be using is the Inner Fucking Peace deck, and my sister actually sent these cards to me. So yeah, let's get into the reading. Great. I'm excited to do these human design readings by type as well. It should be fun. I know I've only done them by type one other time, and all that I really remember about that is that they were really flowy. Like, it really seemed to work, which is always a nice confirmation. So we're going to start with the manifestors. So if you don't know your human design type, There is a link in the description for you to get your human design body graph, and your type will be listed on there. The profile listings are all, up and ready to go. So if you haven't watched your profile reading yet, be sure to do that after you watch this one. And let's get a couple cards out for our manifestors. We have the Nine of Cups. Hello. Beautiful. I love all these shooting stars in here too. Well, duh. This is the card of, wishes coming true. Okay. We have the Devil. And the Magician. Page of Swords at the bottom of the deck. And then your affirmation card. I only want one, and like a 5 keep trying to come out. There we go. How pretty. It says, addicted to inner peace. Get your quick fix. Interesting. That almost kind of feels like two different, well, I guess, because, addicted to inner peace. Get your quick fix. That's, yeah. Okay. All right. It's all coming together. At first, what? Okay. Initial thoughts. I love that the Magician came out, because if there's any reading for the Magician to come out in, it would be yours. With the energy of initiating, right? Like that being your strategy and authority to inform once, like when you choose a direction to go in, or when there is something that you do want to initiate, it's informing the people who are most going to be affected by your movement of energy is how it's coming through. Not to get opinions or permission or whatever. It's just, hey, I'm doing this. Or if you see me moving around, this is what I'm doing. And it's really like the energy of just making sure like nobody gets bamboozled, or to prevent people from trying to get in your way. Right? I think that's maybe, and I don't have any kids. I'm literally going off of like what I've read. And I do have a friend that has a manifestor daughter. I feel like that's like the hardest part of maybe navigating manifestor energy. And I'm not, I'm a manifesting generator, not the same. But people wanting to, maybe be in control. And it would more so be interesting. Like, it's coming through my head as like, they're not trying to control you per se, but they're trying to control what happens to them type of thing. Like, again, they're trying to control the impact to them. So that's interesting. And that we have the devil card out here, and that, again, the opposite side of this card says addicted to inner peace. I mean, the devil card does speak about addictions or obsessions. Again, like, that's kind of where I'm getting the control thing from. The things that do control us. And of course, addictions can be anything. Truly. I mean, it could be a substance, it could be a behavior pattern, a belief system, limiting beliefs, ways that we keep ourselves small or make sure we don't get to where we're going. Or this could, of course, be the not self theme of anger. And also maybe like needing to observe how anger comes through for you. I don't know, because again, I'm not a manifestor, right? I have one manifestor friend. And then, my friend's daughter, who is 5, is a manifestor. So very limited experience, other than, of course, what I've read or like what I have observed other people saying about their experience being manifestors. I'm just wondering if it's, again, like something where needing to figure out how the not self theme expresses through you. Because of course too, like when I think anger, I think explosions and, maybe yelling or aggression or, something along those lines. But I have a lot of anger in me that does not express that way. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I do wonder if there's also a message here about really honing in on how that quote unquote anger that is the not self theme for manifestors manifests in you. Where do you see that? Like, when do you see that come through? Are you currently in that? And it's interesting. Like I said, we have the 9 of Cups to start. And then the Magician on the other side, and we have the Devil in the middle. So, this could be not honoring your strategy and authority when it tells you to jump. When it tells you, like my manifestor friend, she was talking about making some decisions purely based on vibes. And she's a splenic. Is that how you say it? A splenic manifestor. And I'm like, yeah, like that's exactly how you are supposed to be. Supposed to be, right? Quote unquote. Supposed to be and shoulds are kind of like in the same boat as me. It's just hard to like get around saying those sometimes. But I was just like really happy to hear her say that, though. Like, I don't really talk about human design or astrology with a lot of people except for you guys. Because, not everybody has an interest in it. And when you really don't know much about it, it sounds like fucking Chinese or some foreign language. It could even be like a heavy accent for me because my ears just don't pick up heavy accents. And my favorite accent is Australian and Irish. Anyway, I'm like, I love to hear them, but I don't understand them. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, right? Like, my friend, Manifestor friend, talking about, and how those things have worked out for her. Not only that she was going based on vibes, but that they worked. And I'm like, hell yeah, that is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So I was just like encouraging her to continue going based on vibes. And this is like vibes here. The Nine of Cups is the vibe, truly. It's like the ultimate vibe, especially, and I also love that it is a personal, because nines are individual. It is very much like your wishes coming true, your desires being met, you feeling purposeful. Even like you seeing those opportunities, because do people still make wishes on like shooting stars? The fact that there are 9 of them, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I mean, I kind of assumed that since it's the 9 of Cups. I feel like there is more than one opportunity that is coming to you or has already been presented to you. Or there's like multiple areas of your life that are finally kind of coming into focus, or you're getting them to a point of where you want them to be. And even this addicted to inner peace and get your quick fix, like this could even be nervous system work as well. It could be healing burnout. I mean, again, the devil could be burnout. I mean, it's literally anything that prevents you from the 9 of Cups or even from the Magician card. So again, truly, I'm just trying to kind of touch on all bases that are coming to my head just to kind of fit whatever, situation. It could be the people around you. It could be a toxic relationship, whether that's romantic, a friendship, a job. Again, it could be just a way of thinking that it could be shame, guilt, right? Like, I mean, Brene Brown calls them gremlins, just the shit that lives in our head. Like I was saying before, limiting beliefs, patterns of behavior that just don't serve you. Some other form of like unhealthy behavior. It's literally like the shit that like keeps you in an energy that you don't even really want to be in anymore. And that there's an opportunity to change here, since again, we have the 9 of Cups and the Magician out here. The Magician is literally initiation. It is saying that you have exactly what you need in order to manifest the thing that you want. It's trusting yourself. It's trusting your strategy and authority. I believe that manifestors can be splenic, ego, and emotional, right? So, I mean, of course, it would depend on how your strategy and authority, like how that presents to you, based on, of course, which center you have defined or what that authority is. So, of course, be sure, to check that out and maybe experiment with that a little bit more too. But again, like anytime the Magician comes out, I'm always just like, you literally have exactly what you need right now. You have the money, you have the time, you have the energy, you have the emotional capacity to do the thing, to actualize or even capitalize was coming through on this 9 of Cups. maybe there's even some sort of like acceptance that needs to happen, like accepting that you either have multiple opportunities or that there are multiple areas of your life that are finally coming together. Like, what is that saying? There was once a part of you that wished to be where you are right now. Right? Like at some point in the past, where you are right now is where you wished to be. And even this addicted to inner peace, like it is being like very discerning here, with especially with the devil in the middle of like these two good cards, really being discerning of any opportunities. Almost like just making sure that whatever does come into your aura, again, like be sure to check in with your strategy and authority, but also be sure to check in that opportunity or, that thing is in alignment with the life that you've built already and the life that you are still building, right? I mean, I'm sure that you still have goals and you still have things that you want to achieve and it's not necessarily complete. We don't necessarily have any completion cards like on the table, but it's just making sure that it's like not taking the first opportunity because you're afraid that another one won't come up. But again, like your strategy and authority is like, yeah, that's not it. It's like having to trust that. Which is also very magician card. Like I always talk about the Sword of Gryffindor when the magician card comes out, because the Sword of Gryffindor in Harry Potter shows up to exactly the right person at exactly the right time for the exact purpose that they need it for. Right? Like you don't have to have all the information right now. You just have to have the direction. You just have to have, and I believe that you do, because we have the Page of Swords at the bottom of the deck. And I kept looking at the leaves that are on this card because it just feels like there's something growing, and it would have to do with your thoughts. Maybe it's what you believe to be true about yourself or what you believe to be true about what's like possible. A new idea, a different perspective. It could have been discovering a truth about yourself. I think it's also too, even like I was just talking about, it's really aligning yourself with what is true for you, in the sense of the intentions and the actions and the initiations that you are putting energy into. Are they aligned with the goals that you have for yourself? Are you, checking in with your strategy and authority? The amount of times that I've said strategy and authority. Also, I feel like these readings, I talk way more about human design stuff versus like in the profile readings, I like completely forget that I'm even doing a profile reading. And it'll like come up every once in a while, like, oh, this is the energy for this specific profile, and I'll like relate it to the reading. But these specific readings, it always just seems to be like more front and center, which I also think is really cool about these readings. What's behind here? The Tower. the King of Pentacles, and the new moon. I love that the Page of Swords is on top of the Nine of Cups, because also too, it could have been that your idea of what would be wish fulfillment for you could have changed. You could have even just really honed in on what is the truth of that. And like I said, like I keep looking at this vine, that's like wrapping around this sword here. And it does feel like there is something growing. Like pages are always new, right? Like they don't necessarily attach themselves to one thing. I mean, you could be researching or studying something new. It's about intellect and our mind, beliefs, again, mindset. And really, like with it paired with the Nine of Cups now, it's really like being locked in mentally to what the outcome is, how you want to feel, how you want to, perceive that feeling as well. It could even be like visualizing, like, how they say like part of manifestation is like visualizing that thing already existing. And also like, how would you feel in it? So it could be that as well. And I also love that with these cards out here now, the Tower is on top of the Devil card. Because the Tower talks about structures crumbling, something coming to an end, sudden upheaval. It's a card of Mars. And the Tower is only going to affect the things in our lives that are no longer serving us. It's not just going to blow shit up just to like blow shit up in our lives, right? Like it really will only affect whatever this Devil energy is for you. And that could even be like what's happening with this Nine of Cups and the Page of Swords, like really changing your own perspective and really like allowing yourself to believe in the possibility of things instead of waiting for the other shoe to drop, or instead of almost even too like thinking of all the ways that things can go wrong. Like maybe you're also creating space for all the ways that things can go right. There's room for both, right? Like even if one list is longer than the other, I know for me, one list would be longer than the other, but at least there's a list for both, again, whatever this Devil energy is for you, that's what the Tower card would take out. Maybe it's like a sudden breakthrough. Maybe there's like some sudden information, or again, just realization that you have where there's just this aha moment. And that would be, again, the breakthrough is just having this realization of like, dude, all I had to do was change my mind. Easier said than done, for sure. And, in some people, Like, it's easier in others. But there is that song, a Sugarland song. I think it's Settlin'. And there's one verse in there that says she changed her mind and she changed her life. Anytime that song comes to my mind, like, I always recommend listening to it. I think the chorus is like, I'm not settling for anything less than everything. This would have been settling, the Devil card. It would have been settling for less because somebody at some point made you believe that's what you deserved, or, life, trauma, health, relationships, jobs, whatever it was, right? That created that energy or that narrative, the Tower would be taken out. And then we have the King of Pentacles on top of the effing Magician card. Like, this is ultimate success and victory. Like, this is having your cake and eating it too. This is monetary success. This is having your health. It's being able to afford luxuries in life. Also, even being an authority. Like, this could be a promotion. It could be to where people look to you for guidance, or, of course, like, being in a position where people come to you for guidance. It could be getting paid very well because you are deserving of it. This is, asking for 10 or 15K more than what you're being offered, because why wouldn't you? The fuck? It's 2026. Like, why wouldn't you? This is leaving a job that does not value your skills or even your time and your loyalty. And it's going to a company where, again, you're going to be paid very well. Your skills will be recognized and appreciated. The New Moon card is one of 3 additional cards in this deck. And it talks about embracing the shadow, healing, self-care, shadow work, retreat, hibernation, relationship with yourself, meditation, self-love, moving with a lunar cycle. That's like in the middle here. It's having to accept that you are worth more. Like, you are worth that number in your head and more. So add 20,000 to whatever number you have in your head. You are worth, being in a position in life in general, but with work, even, in a relationship. And all of those things could be on the table here. And all of those things would have a direct impact on your inner peace, which I want to say, because now, of course, it's like, peace. Ha! I was going to say, it finally came to me at the end of the reading. I'm sorry that it fucking took me so long to connect those things together. But I'm like, wait, I'm pretty sure the opposite of the not self theme, which again for a manifestor is anger, I'm pretty sure the opposite of that is peace. And it is. I did have to Google it though. So true self, is that what it is? I don't know. But I'm so glad I at least made that connection before we end the reading. I love this. thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.